trade. But let's also understand the outlook for biosimilars in 2012. Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, CMD at Biocon, joins in on the show. Kiran, hi, good morning. How do you see pricing in the biosimilars market, as analysts do believe, that severe price cuts by global players would mean that there would be pressure on Biocon as well?
Well, the biosimilars space is seeing a lot of activity. We are seeing a large number of partnerships being announced almost every week, if not every month. So yes, there is heightened activity in the biosimilar space. But as you know, most of this focus is on the emerging opportunity post 2015. Now, as far as we are concerned, our biosimilar partnership with several companies is also addressing this opportunity. But having said that, we are also very, very focused on the opportunities that biosimilars have in emerging markets. And this is where our near to mid-term focus is going to be. Now, when you look at what is the possible impact of the competitive landscape in biosimilars in terms of pricing, I would say that we have to really see what the shape of this whole biosimilar space looks like in 5 years' time, because it is still a big challenge to companies to develop biosimilars. So whilst you do have a large number of players, I would think that each biosimilar will have a certain number of competitors and not a huge number of competitors. So it depends on the basket of biosimilars each partnership is addressing. And here again, I believe that the cost of bringing biosimilars to the market is far greater than that for generics, and therefore you are again going to not see too many entrants in the early phase of this biosimilar rollout.
Afternoon, Ms. Shaw. So how big is the biosimilar opportunity for Biocon?
I would think that the biosimilars for us over the next 3 years is largely an emerging market play. And there again, it's largely an insulins play for us, a biosimilar insulins play for us, with the biosimilar biologics being a much smaller part of that biosimilar play. We expect to see a pretty large growing presence in emerging markets in insulins. I think this could be quite a significant part of our business. I think it would be upwards of a double-digit percentage of our overall revenues in the next 3 years, but largely contributed by insulins, I would imagine. In terms of pricing, I think there will be an approach of all companies to look at a discounted pricing in terms of biosimilars, but it still is a wait and watch game in terms of how much discounting do you think is required to compete in that space, and that will only emerge over the next 5 years or so.
Kiran, how is rupee depreciation affecting the company in the international as well as the domestic market?
Well, there is going to be some competitive advantage in terms of the rupee-dollar parity, which certainly helps us to compete more effectively in export markets. But equally, I think it also helps us in the domestic market because the cost of imports is going to increase, and that will also probably, make us more competitive as an Indian player in many of the product segments that we operate in, especially insulins.
All right, 2 minutes, about 2.5 minutes left, and then this special trading session will come to an end. Let's resume our conversation with Kiran on currency and how that will change life for Indian pharma companies and especially for Biocon. Kiran, on a net basis, since Biocon is also in imports of basic drugs and also exports of some generic drugs, on a sum total basis, how will the currency fluctuation change life for Biocon?
So it's basically about the fact that you have an overall kind of net advantage or benefit from the foreign exchange change, And I would say from that point of view, yes, Biocon will have some positive impact, but not huge, because of the fact that we also import a lot of raw materials.
Kiran, finally, before we let you go, I mean, would you see any increase in biosimilar prices going forward in 2012?
Well, I see the healthcare systems around the world putting a lot of pressure on bringing down cost. And therefore, I don't see a great opportunity to increase existing prices. For Biocon, I think it's going to be important because the rupee realization obviously is going to be much better. And therefore, again, I go back to the fact that export market opportunities will be pretty good for Biocon in 2012 if the rupee keeps up at this level. And in general, I don't think we are going to see a huge increase in prices of pharmaceuticals because of the huge challenges that governments are facing in terms of basically supporting their healthcare cost structures.
Alright, Kiran, appreciate your time and certainly hope to see more of you going forward.